What's up? What's up? Another day leveled up. It's your boy Salem back with another one for you. I'm happy to be back. It's been almost 2 years since I have uploaded a video, so I'm excited to be back for all of my player ones. This community has done so much for myself. I hope I've been able to give back to you guys as well. But you have my word. I'm going to continue and ride this thing out as long as I'm here. If I'm not here, someone else will be in place of me on this platform of Another Day Leveled Up. So why has it taken me 2 years to get back to a video? Well, life gets in the way, but I don't like to say it gets in the way. I think everything happens for a reason. I've gotten into a new relationship, new job, a lot of new duties come with that. So figuring out how to balance those two and all those, just my life outside of YouTube and life on YouTube has been a little bit of a challenge, but I've now figured it out. I've now got the blessing also from my partner that she is going to be the biggest support. She already has been, but this is going to be great. I'm excited for this to grow. But I think the biggest thing that has been the determining factor in me getting on here is my focus. My focus has been wavering on so many different things. When you get into a relationship, it's learning about your significant other's full world, their family, their friends, their work. What is it that they do, what their upbringing, their jobs, as well with my own, so also managing friends and everything else, your aspirations, none of that stops. It's how does that all work, and how can you make that all be synonymous? So I think there's no better topic today than to talk about is mastering your focus and why it's so important, because in this day and age, I'm sure unless you're living under a rock, it is so important to master your focus because there's so much going on. So before we get started, I'm going to do the honorary Palo Santo light. I haven't forgot about this here. So I'm sure no one has been living under a rock. I'm sure you know that there's potential war, there's new politics, there's Apple Vision. It's already here. I think the last time I was on here, I was even talking about Player One and how crazy that book and that whole concept was, and we're now living in it. So to clear the air, they're coming after your focus. There has been conquerors who have been trying to steal land, take over different countries. They're still doing that to this day, but on a deeper level. They're coming for your attention. Our attention is being bought and sold as we speak. That is a business right now. Buying and selling information to gain the attention of audience. So knowing that that is an actual business model, people are getting paid for selling your information and how to just get your attention. They won't stop until you're basically a drone. So we're going to talk about what is going on, why this is so important, the detriments and the benefits on how to even get past that, how to hone your focus and thrive in this distracted world that we're living in of 2024 right now. I think it's so important. This is not just a video for everyone else, but also for me to remember and hold myself accountable. So for one, let's start with what the current state of the world is. We are living in this world where there is an option to steal your attention at every waking moment, even when you are asleep. If you have a phone, I'm sure that every app on your phone has notifications. And if you have not turned those notifications off, you will be notified on anything that they want you to be notified on. It goes as far as getting notifications on your own photo album now to remind you of a memory that you did last year, years before. It could have been last week, but it just wants you on the phone. And if you did not ask for that notification, turn it off. It is so detrimental to just be buzzed in your pocket all day on notifications that you didn't intend on being notified of. I don't think people understand like how annoying that is to get notified on Uber Eats' new deal, the photo album. Oh, you were here 5 years ago. Isn't that crazy? We made this cool photo gallery and album for you specifically. Go ahead, sit and watch that. How long are you going to sit and watch something you've already lived to feel good again? You know, we're already living on borrowed time. So why allow someone to take your time to look back on your life already while you're living your life? You know, that's something you do on your bed before you pass. You know, there's no need to be looking for that and through that in the present moment. It doesn't make sense to me. So we have that. We have mindless entertainment. I don't even watch cable, but I'll watch some sports games. And when doing that, I see so many crazy commercials, and I'm able to see kind of the pulse of what they're still putting out on live television. Like, I think the craziest one is like The Masked Singer. That's just a weird concept to me that people would sit down for an hour to watch these like B-list actors and singers underneath a costume and then try to figure out who it was. It just, that concept is just like, how can we waste someone's time? Okay, let's make a show called The Masked Singer. But aside of that, even if you are a sports fan, which I am, you could have too much sports. There's no need to watch sports every waking moment. Maybe if that is your profession, then that's acceptable. But I love basketball. I live in Denver. I love the Denver Nuggets. Big shout out, the champs. But even I can't watch every game of the Nuggets. And then we have football. Football is going on. Then you have a new UFL league or something like that. So even though the football season is ending, you're going to have another chance to watch football for all the other time NFL is not on. Then you got the Olympics. You got every single thing for you to focus on and root for other than your own life. That doesn't make sense. Make it make sense. I heard this quote from Myron Golden. If you haven't watched Myron Golden on YouTube, check him out. You will be glad you did. He's been almost like a preacher type of businessman who just puts things in the most clear, practical steps. And he has been an inspiration to me to even get back on here. You know, it's crazy. He only started uploading about a year ago, but that's another thing. We'll dive into that on another topic. But the reason I bring him up is he has a quote that he said, "People have a desire to be balanced, but they have not earned that right to be balanced yet." We have this culture who is telling everyone that they need a work-life balance. You can't have balance without focus on one sole thing, and then you could have balance. That's a luxury. Balance is not for everyone. You know, unless you are an expert in that field that you have, then you could have balance. You could create a system, systemize it, and have it run so you have a balanced life. But if you're going to start a business, if you are trying to be the best at your own job, you probably can't be the most balanced person because you haven't afforded that yet. You haven't built yourself up to that person whose life is balanced. And some might lie to themselves thinking that they need to have that balanced life right now, that they're living a balanced life. But if they are and they're not the best in their profession, they're not a millionaire, they're most likely just living life kind of just on easy mode. They're probably in debt. They're probably not fulfilled. They'll look at someone else who has something that they want and they're like, but they're not balanced. They're not balanced though. So they try to justify other people's life. But I think, speaking from experience, when I was away from YouTube for the last 2 years, I felt like a piece of me has been gone, because it was a way for me to hone my focus, really dive into topics and things that I love. And I get energy and fulfillment from sharing and deep diving on topics that I love. And it doesn't even feel like work to me, but I was in no way thinking about how can I have a life balance. You can burn out on YouTube, but until you're at the point where things are going well, then you shouldn't even really be thinking about that. That's my opinion on that. Take it or leave it, but that's how I feel. And I know the consistency pays. They say if you're doing the work, as time goes on, work always works. This is also on Myron Golden, another line from him. He said, work always works. And if it's not working for you, it's working on you. So you're becoming the person. You don't have what you want to have yet because you haven't become the person for what that is that you have is meant for. It's not even meant for you yet. You haven't developed that person, yourself, your avatar, your player one, the attributes to afford that type of lifestyle, that relationship, that job, those social interactions, those friendships. We can no longer be led down this path of, especially our government, the people around us, the media, preaching to us that you just need to have more of a balanced life. You shouldn't work too hard. It's like, who is really working these days? It's hard to find hardworking individuals. In our generation, we have been given the lie of multitasking. There's no such thing. There's no such thing as multitasking. You're only working with fragmented attention, divided attention. That's why when they say, please give me your undivided attention, that is what it means, because your brain it's impossible to focus on multiple things with the same amount of energy and focus. It's just fragmented parts of focus. So doing that naturally, you will not have the best product, the best output, the best quality of things when people are always multitasking. Give them one task, let them become an expert in that field, and then maybe add more things on, but allow them to systemize it so they could focus on being the best that they could be in that field. So what does the lack of focus affect? So when you're not focused, your productivity is going to go down, the quality of your work is going to go down because you're trying to multitask. It's easy to not do the most. You're going to do the bare minimum. You're just going to say, what's done is done. There's a time and place to have that mentality, but if it's your day-to-day work, you probably shouldn't have that mentality of it's done. If it's done, it's done. Another thing is your communication and decision making. Communication with your job, your partner, your own life, your own decisions. If you can't sit down and just be with yourself for a moment, it doesn't make sense to try to juggle all these different things, different friends, different duties. I'm an introvert. For me, I know that I cannot be social all the time. I have to take away my attention and sit with myself to really focus on my next step, my next direction. Where am I going? Am I even in the right direction? Another thing that is affected by the lack of focus is your mental health. We are living in this age where mental health is talked about, but they don't like to get to the root of what is causing this mental health pandemic, this epidemic, whatever you want to call it. But you're always juggling different duties, and as time goes on, your mental health will deteriorate because you have social media. We're living in the age where I'm sure everyone who went to school, you were trying to look good in everybody else's eyes in your school because it was a game of popularity. With social media now, the school has now grown to be the world because you can now find someone in a whole different country and see their followers, their likes, and then you're going to compare yourself and then go down this rabbit hole of how much better all these other people are and how not as great you are. You're comparing yourself, and then naturally you just start holing up. You're just not going to go out much. You're going to just believe that, oh yes, they could do it, but I could never do the same. But forgetting that person is just a person. They weren't born with this social media, this fame, or whatever you want to call it, this following. They've had to build it up, and not everyone that has influence is actually doing something with it. Some people just post things to post and just for entertainment. But for me, I like to think about putting myself out there to help people and to serve, and that could be looked at different ways. I think entertainment is necessary. I love comedy and things like that. But when it comes to just putting out random videos just for views and likes, that's a slippery slope. And I don't ever want to get down that road of just doing things and losing focus to make others happy, because I believe everyone has a gift. And if you're focused on what you are here to give the world, you don't even have to worry about how to become popular or anything like that. Like, God will lift you up. If you're serving others, you're going to be served as well. So nothing to worry about there. Another thing that is affected when you are not focused is your ability to deeply understand complex concepts, topics. I think more than any time in the world right now, we need to have the ability to focus on the news. I've never been a political guy, but I believe right now you don't have a choice. You need to know what's going on because it affects you. You probably could have lived life like ignorance is bliss, but it's really not. You're just running the whole time. So I don't think it's bliss is not running all the time. Even though I'm a runner, I like a runner's high, but it's definitely not blissful, that's for sure. There's a lot of people that will run from the truth because knowing the truth actually has repercussions. Once you know the truth, you can't lie to yourself to say, I've never heard that before. You have to live with that. And as you go through life, some people just rather not know the truth about things because they're scared on what their reaction is. They don't want the responsibility to actually do something about it. And that's not how I like to live my life. I like to always find the truth and figure out how that truth affects me and how I can actually better my life by knowing that truth. One of the last things I feel like the lack of a focus affects is your meaningful connections to your friends, your family, your loved ones. Because obviously, if I'm sitting here with a phone right now, say if I was on a phone right now trying to talk to you guys, you would not feel connected to me at all. People do that throughout the entire day. They do that with their own relationship, their friends at work, and they wonder why they can't find a meaningful connection because they haven't decided to just focus on that. They have to actually go about eliminating some things to get their focus back. So how would people go about honing this focus and getting their attention back, getting their mental health back, their quality of work back? I think you should start with recognizing and acknowledging those distractions, because a lot of people, we like to tell ourselves like, oh, that's not really a distraction, that Netflix is not really a distraction, drinking is not a distraction, smoking is not a distraction, it's just my day-to-day life. Why I could focus on that, but I'm like, well, if you can you actually eliminate it and see what your focus is like without it? Your quality work could probably be a lot better if you did decide to just remove it from your life for a bit. Like, see the contrast in your life at least before you already say like it's not really detrimental to your focus. Another thing people should do is set clear goals and priorities and set up boundaries. So not everyone should feel like they can access you at all times. Everyone knows they can't just call me just out of the blue and I'm just always available to talk. My friends, they call me 2 dial miles because I don't usually pick up the first dial because I'm like, just text me first. If it's really that important, let me know, but I don't have all the time to always be on the phone. But set up an environment to focus. You set up your house or go somewhere, go to a park, go on a drive. So do something to hone your focus because, like I said, the world is coming after it. And if you just submit to it, you wake up, you check your phone right when you wake up, you are watching the TV, you're browsing social media all day until you don't find anything, which is rare. Like, you're always going to find something on there. So if you don't have a goal or priority, why would you ever just turn that off? I hear people that say they sat and watched TikTok for hours and that they may go to bed just looking at TikTok for hours. And I'm like, that just blows my mind. We're definitely not all the same. My mind is, I'm never bored because I always feel like I could be learning something, and I'm not ignorant enough to think that I know everything. So it doesn't make any sense for me just to sit there and browse other people's lives and whatever they want to post, shaving soap and shit on TikTok. Excuse my French. I don't even speak French, but a little bit here and there. Another thing that people could focus on is practicing mindfulness and meditation. It's not spoke about enough. It's still, I hear it all the time because it's my feed, but a lot of people still haven't even tried meditation, sitting down with themselves and stopping the run from their own thoughts. They rather choose being distracted. So the benefits of having more focus, you're going to have enhanced productivity because obviously if you don't have focus, your productivity is going to be low, your quality of work is going to be low. Improved communication. Obviously your communication was lacking without focus. Better mental health, enhanced education, and the ability to learn and absorb the books, the podcasts, things that you're looking at and listening to, and just better social communication, better social interactions, better friendships, better relationships. I can't speak enough why honing your focus is so necessary. This time and day and age that we're living in, we have so many things that are begging for our distraction and nothing in the way to stop it. So I think this is the right video to put out, and this social climate of 2024 in February, whatever it is when this video gets to you on that Monday. At the end of the day, mastering your focus is not just about eliminating distractions, but it's about enhancing your creativity. I believe if you embrace your focus and learning potential, your personal and professional life will be much better than it is today. We're going to conclude on this video today, and I hope that I was able to help shed some light on why it's so important to have focus and master that going forward, especially in 2024. Expect a video from me every Monday as of now. I think that's a great day. Let me know in the comments if you would prefer on another day, but it's going to be Monday because I feel like a lot of people watch these videos while they're at work, even though they should be working, and less on Fridays and on the weekend. So I think it'd be good to start the week off with these videos and know that you can always count on them on the morning of Mondays. So I appreciate everyone watching. As always, just know that a belief may be comforting, but only through true experiences it become liberating. Grant yourself permission to level up. And until next time, it's your boy Salem. I'm out.